Now, you asked the question, do the Packers have a path to the playoffs? I mean, they do. Now here's the thing. A lot of people are, oh, Brandon, are you going to admit you're wrong on Jordan Love yet? No, I'm not. 'Cause I don't think I'm wrong yet on Jordan Love. Has he gotten better over the last 2 weeks? Yeah. Did he surprise me against the Lions? Yeah. Do I count the other game against Brandon Staley? No, I don't, because he's facing Brandon freaking Staley. But the Packers somehow, some way, are in the thick of it at the bottom here of the NFC playoff picture. Now, I think they're going to get destroyed by Kansas City Sunday night. I think it's going to be like 30-10. I think it's going to be a rough night for Jordan Love and crew. But if he plays well against Kansas City, I might come on Brandon's World and Championship rings next week and say there might be something here. But I'm telling you, man, I saw Jordan Love when he was at Utah State. He went up against my Kent State Golden Flashes in the COVID year against Dustin Crum, our great quarterback, threw for a lot of yards at Kent State. You know where Dustin Crum is now? He's the quarterback of the fan-controlled football league, and he outdueled Jordan Love in a bowl game. It was some kind of PlayStation Bowl or something like that in December 2020. Jordan Love, he's not special. He can make throws. To me, he's a good backup in the NFL. The Packers, they don't have Aaron Jones right now. I don't love their receivers. They have a pretty good offensive line. They have pretty good tight ends. Their defense is decent enough to create turnovers, but they're just hard to watch. And if that team somehow makes the playoffs, they're going to get obliterated in the wild card round, probably by San Francisco or Detroit, whoever would be in that 2 seed.
Yeah. Do I think Green Bay's going to catch Detroit and win the division? No. But I do think the Packers have a legitimate path to the playoffs here. That's why I asked the question. Also based on, what their defense did against Detroit last week, which I'm still confused by that. Like, I thought Detroit's offensive line was one of the best in the league.
Yeah, I don't get it. This is why I think the Lions are still one of the pretenders. That's why I told you before the year I had Dallas over Detroit. I remember me and you went back and forth on Dallas. You had Seattle ranked over them. You had Detroit ranked over them. And I'm saying, timeout. Dallas wins a lot of games. We're seeing it again this year. And the Lions, when they're a heavy favorite against their division rival, they come out on Thanksgiving not ready to play. I didn't understand that at all. And, Green Bay, Matt LaFleur is a decent enough coach where you can win games. I thought they'd win 5 or 6 games this year. They're going to win more than that. But Jordan Love, he's not it. I don't see wow. There's nothing that I see that goes, that's impressive. I say, okay, that's pretty good. That's nice. I don't see a guy that can carry you and win you games.
That's fair. You were talking about their wide receivers and how you're not very impressed with them. I like what I see from Christian Watson. I like what I see from Romeo Doubs. They both seem to be developing chemistry with Jordan Love. Sure, he's not like a great quarterback yet, but I don't think he has to be. Sometimes you can rely on your skill position players to take you where you want to be.
My argument with Jordan Love is this: a lot of people treat him like a rookie. He's not a rookie. He's a year 4 player. I don't care if he's sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. You should be ready to go, and I need to make a decision on you now because your contract kicks in a year. It's not like Justin Fields. We've got 4 years to evaluate, what he can do in Chicago. This is like Jordan Love. You're in the same, basically you're a year ahead of Justin Fields. You're in the same draft class as Jalen Hurts. Let's go, let's play. And I don't see the juice. And by the way, the college football schemes in the NFL are so eerily similar now to the ones that are in the NFL that it's an easier transition, which is why I'm a lot harder now on young quarterbacks.
Okay, so you look at the Packers' schedule down the stretch. It's really not that daunting.
It's not.
They host the Chiefs this week. Kansas City is a -6-point favorite. Understandable. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They've got Patrick Mahomes. They have Travis Kelce. Okay, fair. But then next week, They have Monday Night Football against the New York Giants. Why is that game on Monday Night Football?
Well, it's a doubleheader game, which is a little bit good because Titans Dolphins is the other game.
Meh. After that, they have the Packers host the Buccaneers. That's a win. Then the Packers are at the Panthers. Easy win. Then they're at the Vikings. Okay, that could be a little bit tricky. And then they close the season out by hosting the Bears. That's a win.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of easy wins potentially on that schedule.
So Green Bay, realistically, yes, they have a path to the playoffs.
They're what, 5-6 right now? I think they can finish 9-8.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, they have an easy schedule. The team that does not is the Dallas Cowboys. Talk about, Josh, their 5-game gauntlet coming up.
Yes. So this game on Thursday against Seattle, it could be a little bit tricky, although Seattle has been struggling as of late. So we'll see. But listen to this upcoming schedule for the Cowboys. Host Seattle this week. Host the Eagles next week on Sunday Night Football. At Buffalo, at Miami, host Detroit on Monday Night Football.
Which will be Saturday, but by the way, because that Monday night game is a part of ESPN. It's Saturday, December 30th, because that Monday, January 1st, will be the college football semifinal games. So they're giving the ESPN crew that game on Saturday, even though it's a Monday night football game. It is a Saturday game, though.
Either way, though, that is one hell of a gauntlet.
It is. So I think that they're going to beat Seattle.
I would agree with you. Dallas has completely proven me wrong. You know, I had a lot of questions about them in the beginning. I didn't trust Mike McCarthy as the head coach.
By the way, I still don't. I told you about Dallas. It's all about the playoff. I told you exactly what Dallas is. They're going to win 12 games, and they're going to get second rounded. I'm still on that prediction. They may make the NFC Championship game, which is what I predicted at the beginning of the year, and lose to Philly, but we will see, obviously, depending on matchups. I think they lose. I'm going to skip the Philly game because I think that's a toss-up. I'm going to say they lose to Buffalo and Miami back-to-back. I think going down to Miami is really hard, and I think Buffalo is actually hitting their stride now with new offensive coordinator Joe Brady. I think that's 2 losses back-to-back. I think they're a little bit better than Detroit. I think they win that game, and I think they'll finish by beating Washington. So that's 3 wins, 2 losses. The swing game is that game that's Sunday night, December 10th, at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, because I have Dallas losing twice, I think at the most Philly loses twice the rest of the year. I don't think that will ultimately decide the division. I think Dallas can win that game, and I think no matter what, the way I look at things right now, you should essentially bank that the Dallas Cowboys will be the number 5 seed in the NFC, taking on the winner of the NFC South, which right now, as I said earlier, somehow looks like the freaking Atlanta Falcons with Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of what could be on the line for that Eagles-Cowboys game depends on what happens on Sunday in Lincoln Financial Field between the 49ers and Eagles. If the Eagles win, then that next week's game in Dallas doesn't have a lot of meaning.
Well, it has a lot of meaning to Dallas because Philly could run with the number 1 seed if they were to beat Dallas, I believe. Okay. Or at least the division.
Okay, but still, like, it wouldn't have... Do you kind of get where I'm going with that? Whereas...
Not really, because it's Cowboys. What did you tell me about Ohio State, Michigan? Everybody in Ohio State, you have to be Michigan. Cowboys-Eagles is easily a top 3 rivalry in the NFL. It's going to be over the next decade. These 2 teams, and trust me, I'm on one side of the rivalry, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. When the schedule comes out, we immediately look at the schedule. We look and see when those 2 Cowboys games are. We print out the schedule. We circle it, and we write F Dallas on it.
I bet you Steelers fans and Ravens fans do the same thing for their respective team schedules. But anyway, To go back to our earlier conversation, if the Eagles lose this week against the 49ers, then that Sunday night game takes on a whole new meaning. So,
see, I disagree because I feel like, God forbid, we lose both those games. I'm still winning the NFC East.
well, we will see. But
by the way, this will be, in my opinion, the first year we have a repeat champion in the NFC East for the first time since Philly did it in 2004.